Hello everyone and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be doing another solo playthrough and tutorial. This one is of Under Falling Skies, which is a solo only game. And so I want to go ahead and start out by going over the basic setup here. You're going to set up these tiles like these are lined here. You're going to have this one that has the 11 at the top there, and they're going to get slightly lighter as they go. And so that's the order they're going to go in. And then you're going to select a city to work with. They recommend starting with Roswell, as it's the most basic one, and it doesn't use robots, and it's something that they add in later on as a mechanic for the other cities. And so you're going to set those up like that, having these tiles, and then your city tile, and then the city tile tells you which of these underground tiles you're going to be setting up. You're going to do A as the top one, and B as the second one. And these are reversible, because later on, if you have something that has doing B at the top and A at the bottom, you would flip that over like that. And so you're going to make sure that you've got these lined up where it starts at 0 and goes on up to the higher number here, in this case 7. And then you're going to put this marker here, and this represents your city's life. Different things are going to happen that are going to bring that down. And if it ever gets to this skull here at the bottom, you've lost the game. Over here, you start your energy where it's circled, and each city is going to have a different setup, which could change this a little bit. And then you're going to start this green token here on this alien head. And the goal of the game is actually to get this all the way up to the top. But we've got different ships that are going to be coming. This is very reminiscent of Galaga or Space Invaders. It's got its own little kind of thing going for it. It's not exactly that, but it kind of gives you that nostalgia of that. And basically, these are going to be coming down, and if they land on a space that has this, it's going to move this entire mothership down one. If they land on something like this, you have the opportunity later on to shoot them out of the sky by placing on one of these ship sites that have dice that add up to more than that number. Anything that's higher than that, you will do. Let's say there was a ship on the 2, a ship on the 4, and a ship on the 3. If you had 3 as your fighter ship power, then you'd be able to do the 3 and the 2, but the 4 would still stay there. So that's how that would work. You start out with your 5 purple ships on the mothership like that. And this is where they're going to spawn every time. I was making the mistake when I first played of accidentally spawning them on the first available site on the board, but they actually spawn on the mothership and then move. Now, if they land on one of these spaces, they're going to go to the left or the right. And remember, this is only if they land on this space do these things trigger. If they pass over it, that will not trigger. And so that's the different things that they'll do on the board. The way you increase this is by going to these green spaces that are your research spaces, and whatever number of dice are on there, let's say we had a 6 and a 4 here, that would be 10. I can move up to 10 on here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't move here because that would make it 12. And so I'd be able to move there, and as it says here, I'd be spending 2 energy. That's the cost to use this, so that would go down. And so that's how that works. To get energy, you want to place it on these ones that have the energy, and then you'll be increasing that, and all that happens in the later phase. I'll explain that in a moment. This line right here, you can put a die on there to make the ships come forward 1 less, because whenever you put a die on here, no matter where you put it, the ships are going to come forward that much. So if you put a 4 here on this energy, this ship's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And so there's a constant battle between, okay, what's going to be advantageous to me versus what's going to help them out too much, and trying to balance that is the puzzle that you have to work with in this game. And so let's go ahead, and I'm going to just kind of go through now. I've gone through a lot of the symbology and what the different things do. I'm going to go through how a turn works. So what you're going to do, first of all, these blue dice, you don't need those because those are for the robots, which I'll explain at the end of the video. You don't need this orange fighter, so we can throw that out of the way. You'll have these white fighters that can come in later. These ones do not respawn. The purple ones do respawn. Oh, and one last thing, you're going to put your excavator right here. Now, when I first start out, I can't use anything that is beyond this excavator. You're going to have to be able to move this excavator forward. That's going to be something you can do when you roll for your dice roll. So the first thing you're going to do each round, this back to 0, is you're going to take and you're going to roll all 5 dice. And then you've got 2 different colored dice in here. You have gray and you have white. When you place a gray die, then nothing extra happens. But if you place a white die, then you will re-roll all the dice that you haven't currently placed. And so that gives you a chance to kind of change things up a bit. You want to kind of strategically use when you place your white dice, depending on whether you want to keep the other dice that you already have or if you want to try for something a little bit better. And so this is what I first rolled. I got a 6, 4, 2, 3, and a 2. And so I need to try and get my excavator forward a little bit. That's kind of oftentimes my first priority because I want to be able to unlock all these extra spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a dice. I'm going to figure out where I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to go all the way to 6 and see where he's going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that moves the mothership forward. I don't think I want to do that just yet. So I'm going to go ahead. You can place this. You don't have to place it on the space you're going to. You can place it ahead, but it has to be at least as many on the die face as where you want to travel to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to bring that to there if I do that. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a 6 there. It's going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since it landed on a blank space, nothing happens. Now later when you do the rooms phase, this is going to come forward. Next thing I'm going to do is I would like to go ahead and get this going for me here. So I'm going to place the 4 there. It's going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now since I did the white die, we re-roll. Got 6, 4, and 4. Now I want to get this energy up a good bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to put a 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. I did a gray dice. I'm going to re-roll. Now earlier I was mentioning this spot here. This will make it come forward 1 less. So I'm actually going to put that there. And so it doesn't really do anything for me except for the fact that he's not going to move forward 3. He's only going to move forward 2. And then come this way because of that arrow. So now we are done with the dice phase. We move on to the room phase, and we can resolve these in any order that we desire. So the first thing I'm going to resolve is this. It's going to cost me 1. Actually, no, the first thing I'm going to resolve is this. It's going to cost me 2 energy. And this is going to go up 4. 3, 4. Second thing I'm going to resolve is this. Now you notice there's a negative 3 on this room. That means you take the 10 that's here and you take 3 off of that. It becomes 7. That's how much energy I'm going to get. Now you have to have both, when there's a dual room like this, you have to have both rooms filled in order to actually use that, which I do. So I get 7 energy. Then I'm going to, in order to use the excavator, it costs 1 energy to move it forward. So I spend 1 energy and move that forward to there, 5 spaces, which I can do with the 6. And then this does nothing. It could have just been removed at the very beginning there. So that is the end of the room phase. Next thing that happens is the mothership moves forward 1 space and takes care of any actions that are on this side here. In this case, it's going to spawn 1 white ship. And the way spawns work is it's going to spawn in an empty row, if there is one. If there was an empty row, let's say that there was a ship right here in this row, it would have spawned in one of the ones that is furthest away from it. So it'd be either here or here. But since there is an empty space, it's going to be right there. And then another loss situation that I need to bring up. See, the mothership is slowly going to come down to here until it gets to this skull. If it makes it to this skull, we lose the game. And so let's go ahead and move now into the next dice phase. So I got 6, 5, 5, 3, and 1. So now I have this entire line is now open to me if I want to use it. I still want to get this excavator forward because this is a very good research track right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now keep in mind, I can't place anything in front of the excavator except for the one that's moving the excavator, so I won't be able to use this turn if I move forward on it. If I place a 6 there, they'll both move to fairly safe areas. Of course, I'm moving 2 things forward if I do that. Could put a 5 here and it would be a similar situation. Oh, now this next one means that it's going to move my excavator back too. However, if something lands on one of these spaces to move the mothership forward, that will not trigger. So one possible thing to think about is if there's something you don't want to trigger on this side, go ahead and make something land on one of those motherships. I think I need to take out some of these ships too as we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell you what, I'm going to put a 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put it there on the 6. I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 here. Oh wait, not yet, not yet. Hold off. It's a white die. I want to get these 2 as over 6. So 2 things that add up to at least 6. That could be problematic, actually. Well, let's go for it. 1, 2, 3. And actually, it's not that bad, actually. I may just go ahead and do this one, just to not take a chance. Because if I re-roll and I get some low numbers, I need a 3 or better. That's pretty... You know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to put this 1 right here. That moves forward 1. I have to re-roll. Oh, got a 6 and a 5 yet again. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 5 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to put this... Oh, I'm going to have to re-roll for this. It's a 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's the end of the dice phase. Now in the room phase, I'm going to go ahead and move this forward by spending an energy. I'm going to go ahead and take this off to give me the energy back. I'm going to spend 2 energy to kill anything on an 8 or lower. So that means everything. So spend the 2 energy. This goes by, this goes by, that goes by, and that goes by. These will all respawn at a later time. Just make sure neither of those are on one. Okay. So that is how that fighting works. Just took them all out. And then this is 3 minus 1 is 2. Oh, no, I can't actually do that because that is... should have looked at that a little bit closer. I needed a 3, but 3 minus 1 is 2. So you can choose not to spend an energy and just not use this cube, which is what I'm going to do in that case. Okay, so these are going to spawn. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Just like that. And had there been a 5th ship to spawn, it would then come here. But there wasn't. Now, if there's more than 5 ships that are spawning, then whatever wasn't able to get onto one of these spawn points will just stay here and spawn at a later part in the game. Okay. So, a lot of low numbers on probably around where I wanted a lot of high stuff to occur. So, I may use this 1 pretty quick to try and re-roll, or the 3 really quick to re-roll. Oh, Oh, I forgot to do this. Hold up. That comes forward. And this is going to go back too. Okay. So that changes everything because I was just thinking about using that. I miscalculated something there. Okay. So I need to get this ship forward still before I can utilize this to its fullest. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and place that there. 1, 2, 3. Reroll. So some big money. A little bit better. Not a lot better. Go ahead and I'm going to need some more energy. I just want to get that going forward a bit. Tell you what, if I put the 5, I can't put the 5 here because I put a 3 here. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention earlier. You have 1 die on each row. You can't double up on any rows. You can't skip any rows. So let's go ahead. We're going to put the 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's a lot of stuff I'm not going to be able to accomplish this round. Guess I'll go ahead and put a 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to move the mothership down, but this does not trigger. Which is kind of good because now it's just going to go to a space where nothing's going to trigger next round. As long as I don't get on another mothership, which doesn't seem likely. Roll a 1 and a 2. Low, low numbers. That could be a blessing given the fact that I couldn't do a whole lot this turn anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this here so that this comes down 1. And this here so those don't move at all because 1 minus 1 is 0. So resolving this time, I'm going to go ahead and move that forward for 1. It came around here like that, 3. And then I'm going to resolve this one for 2 energy, going 3, 4. These did nothing. And then resolve this to get 5 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Go ahead and move the mothership down. This is going to despawn and then spawn right back in. No benefits for the mothership this round. So I got 3 5s, a 4, and a 1. Still trying to get this down here because if I can get to this 3 track, that's going to make things a lot easier on me. I think I will take a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's going to move the mothership down 1 though. Don't know that I want to do that. Huh. Especially since it's going to put on an excavator 1. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Then again, if I put a 4 there, it's going to be basically the same situation. 1, 2, but it's not going to trigger a mothership. I think I'm going to put a 4 here. I'm going to see what else I can do in the meantime. Let's see, I need 4, 5 to make that work. If I wanted to make even more work, I could get up to 8, 9, 10. Ow, 10 I can move. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can go all the way up that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to put a 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And now, things are looking up. Let's see. How about I go ahead and put the 4 here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Reroll, because that was a white die. 2 and 2. This is where I'm probably just going to play defensively. If I put a 2 here, it's going to move forward 1. If I put a 2 here, that's going to move forward 1. Okay, so now to the room phase. I spend 1 energy to come here. These 2 did nothing, so they go away. And then I spend 2 energy to move this up 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the mothership is going to come forward 1. It's going to spawn. Purple ship gets precedence and goes on the first space that can legally spawn. And then since this is the furthest point from the ship that a ship is located, it's going to spawn in that row. Okay. So we got a lot of big numbers. That may be a good thing. I want to move the excavator forward 4 so that I'll have that available. I also would kind of like the mothership to move forward 1 so I don't have to worry about the excavator coming back. So, somewhere I want to resolve that. I may not want these high numbers this round. So I may actually re-roll this time. First off the bat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, low numbers. That's good for this round. I want something to land on a mothership. Preferably something that's going to give me a good benefit. Well, then again, I'm going to need at least that energy. Let me just go ahead and do that and allow it be the 1. Unless I want something else to land. I could use more energy than 1 would give me. Tell you what, I'm going to put 2 here. It's going to skip over its mothership. And I'm going to put 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lands on the mothership. Oh, I forgot to move this one forward too. Now the mothership moves forward. It's going to disregard that. It's going to re-roll here. A 2 and a 5. I'm going to put 2 here. 1, 2, 1, 2. And the 5 has to go in this row. I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I'm going to go ahead because I don't want to spend the energy because I'd only be able to move it forward 1. If I did that, doesn't seem worth the energy spent at this time. So it's going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop there. Okay, that goes away. Anything on a 6 or less, it's that. I don't think anybody's on anything else. Okay. So I got rid of that ship for 2 energy, and then I get 2 energy back for this, and 1 energy get cost to move the excavator to the final point. Now things get fun. Mothership's going to move forward 1. This means I'm going to move back 1 on this track. Not too bad. Okay, I need energy, and I need this. Those are my main foci. So really, I would love to have bigger numbers. But there is the problem, I don't want that to hit me. Here's what I'm going to do. Put 2 there. I'm going to put a 4 there, I think. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. These re-roll. I probably should have put a 3 now. Actually, no, I should have put a 3 here before I did that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so got a 4 and a 1. Oh, no, that would have gone there, sorry. Wrong place. 3, 4, 5, 6. Not exactly helpful if I did that. 3, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Well, first I'm going to put that there. These are going to move forward 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I take 2 damage, but I think we're in good shape. The white one goes away, and the purple one will respawn at the end of the round. This gets re-rolled. It's a 6. Don't know if that's good or bad. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, that's good. So I'm going to put the 6 here. So this is how we're going to resolve this one. I'm going to spend 2 energy to resolve this. This ship goes away. This ship goes away permanently because it's a white ship. This one was above the 4, so that one doesn't go away. Now I'm going to get 6 energy. And then I'm going to resolve this for 2 energy, which is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, plus 6 is 9. Cost me 2 energy. Now the mothership moves down. There's nothing for it to do this round. So spawn here, here, and here. So need to start thinking about how to get up that as fast as possible, but I also need to make sure that that doesn't hurt me. See, that's a 5. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and allow one of them to hurt me while I destroy the other one. Put a 2 here. He's going to move down. I'm going to put a 5 here. I'm going to move down and take a damage. Put this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or actually, yeah. Reroll. Got a 5 and a 1. I'm going to go ahead and have to do this. I should have put that 3 there earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 1 on the energy. 1. Okay. So I'm going to get my 1 energy. Then I'm going to spend 2 energy to destroy that ship and that ship. we go back to the respawn. Then I'm going to spend 2 energy again. Do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 4, 9, 10. So we've got 14 more to go. Mothership's going to move down 1 and then bring me back down 1 on that track. I only lost 1 point there. That was pretty good. Now, I'm going to need enough energy to power this track and get 15 or better on this track. And that will be the ball game. So I'm going to put a 6 here. Like that. See. We're going to put a 2 there. And re-roll. What did I say I needed? 11, 12, 3, 15. Aha. I know what I'm going to have to do. Probably. Yeah, that's my best bet. Put a 2 there. 1, 2. Put 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I take a damage. And then the last 4 is going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move the mothership forward 1. But if I calculated correctly, I get 2 energy, and brings me to 3. I spend this die first, because I can't combine this with this room. Each room has to be spent on its own, or as a multiple room. So 2, spent 1 energy to move up 1. And then we have 6, 10, 14. And I needed exactly 14 to get to there. And that's the old ball game, Buck. That's how you play Under Falling Skies. Now, I played this game on threat level 0 to demonstrate this. If you wanted to play on a higher threat level, what you would go ahead and do, you take all of these tiles, you would shuffle them up without looking, you would select 2 at random, or 1 at random to make threat level 1 and flip it over, or 2 at random to make it threat level 2, which is actually the level I oftentimes play on, or threat level 3, you flip 3 of them, or threat level 4, you flip all 4 of them. And then, of course, organize them the way you normally would. And so these are all a little bit more difficult when you flip to this side. The benefits over here are going to be more drastic. You'll have this icon right here, which actually, when the mothership hits this one, would cause you to take a damage. And so that is not fun. You also have to get 12 on this upper one here, which takes a little bit more. These numbers generally are going to be a little bit higher overall. You're also going to have other hazards along the way that are a little bit harder. You're going to have more motherships, it looks like. Different other things that make that more difficult. Now, when you flip this over, they say if you lose a match, you go ahead and flip to the damage side and play again, and it gives you a power here. When Roswell takes its first point of damage, advance 1 space on the research track. Is Roswell's benefit. Now, all the other cities actually have a benefit that they begin with, and then a better benefit when you flip to the damage side. And so that's a little thing that goes on there with that. And so that's the basic thing here. I want to show this. Now that I know how to play the game, I play on this side, because you can see the artwork a little bit better there. But they also, if you play on this side, it's good to start out with, because it shows you what you do in the dice phase, the room phase, and the mothership phase. And so when you're kind of learning the game, it's good to have that as a reference for you. But if you'd rather, after you know the rules and how to play and have the artwork, you can go ahead and flip it over like that. Now, I mentioned I was going to talk about the robots. Now, some of the spaces have this blue robot symbol here. And what happens there is when you roll your die, you are going to place it on the, you can place one of them on one of those robot symbols. Now let's say I put this 5 right here. Then when it comes time to place dice in the room phase, or use dice in the room phase, this dice you can place on anywhere that's legal to place it. Now also keep in mind, if you were to use the excavator before you were to place this robot die somewhere else, you could go ahead and move it to where the freshly excavated area is. And so that's one advantage of the robot die. The second advantage is this. So what you're going to do once you do that, you're going to trade out for a blue die, and you're going to put that on a place, if I can find where that 5 is. So if it was a 5 in here, you're going to move a 5. Of course, that costs 2 energy right there. And let's say I wanted to put it here on this place where for 2 energy I get to advance the research what's on the die plus 1. And so that's going to be there. And then you can't activate it this round. It's actually unactivated for this first round when you first place it. But next round, you will have this die already here. It's not going to move the ships forward any. You'll be able to place another die in this row. All of that kind of still applies. But then you're going to have this extra dice being utilized during your turn. And what you're going to do is, if you spend the 2 energy and use this die, you will then flip it to the 4. You take the number that it currently was, which was 5 plus 1 is 6 on the research. Then that will go to 4. Next time I use it, it will go to 3, and then 2, and then 1, so on and so forth. And then it's going to be gone if you get after 1. Of course, you can at any time decide, I no longer want this dice to be here, and take it off. You can replace it at any time with another die. It will just kind of go away at that point. And so if it's starting to get really low and you want to get a higher number in there, you can go ahead and just yank it off the board and say, I'm done with this robot. And so that's how robots work. That's, I believe, all the things that get added prior to the campaign, unless I'm forgetting something. And so, but once you start on the campaign, you will, of course, have this ship sometimes comes into play. You have some other tokens. You have all kinds of other things that I'll leave for you to discover on your own. But this was the basics of how to play Under Falling Skies. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and this playthrough. Hit that like button if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. And I'll catch you in the next one.